6:07. We will in a moment after we close to go into executive. It's a regular meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale. Tuesday, October 22nd. I ask everyone to please rise to salute our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Dunleavy.
Here.
Councilmembers Tomato.
Here. Okay.
Short. Here. Conklin.
Yes.
Delariva.
Here.
Sondemire.
Here.
Yasmin.
Here.
Okay, also with us is Jane McCarthy, our municipal clerk. Joining us this evening is Richard Kessler, consultant geotechnical engineer. At this time, there is an early executive session, which we will enter into now and then deal with normal agenda when we resume after our executive. So I need a motion to enter into executive. Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Back on the record, that's your 701. 701. On the official one. Right. Yeah, thank you. Welcome, everybody. We had an early executive session, so we did open our meeting at 6 p.m. Did our roll call, our salute to our nation's flag. So we will continue on with, there is one non-agenda item, and I always mention non-agenda items in case the public wishes to speak to them. I'm going to bring to the council's attention a project I'd like to get authorization on, which I won't ask for official tonight because I need certification of funds. But out of our capital bond ordinance, which has a balance in there, there's a failed sidewalk past Walter T. Bergen School. I'd like you to all look at it for our next meeting to discuss. As you know, the county doesn't do sidewalks, and this is not in front of a home, so it's not assessing a sidewalk to a homeowner. So it's literally as you pass Walter T. Bergen, it's immediately on the left. And it's
Does it go up to the other street?
No, it's on Glenmont.
I know that there's a street right above the school.
It goes to Glade Road. It does go, but you'll see where I'm talking. It's a macadam sidewalk with no railing, and it's literally a drop off into the ravine. And we need to deal with it immediately. So I want you to look at it. I'll get certification of funds. Yeah, it's really got money to do it. Try to move on that. It's approximately cost about $7,500 for our engineer. Okay, so that's a non-agenda item we'll discuss. I pretty much already did. We'll discuss briefly later on. Early public comment. Can I have a motion to open to early public comment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Anyone wishing to speak to an agenda item? Early public comment is reserved to agenda items. We don't have many people here this evening. If someone has a non-agenda item, I have no problem if you want to speak to it early. If anyone else is okay with that. I don't know if that's the case. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to an agenda or even a non-agenda item, please come on up, state your name and address for the record. See no one. Motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Reports from the governing body and any professionals. I'll start with Jane. Do you have anything for us, Jane?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. If you would allow me, I'd like to just read this so I don't miss anything. I would like to clear up some confusion as to the special general election for the Senate seat last week. As some of you know, we were not able to utilize our usual polling sites for Districts 3 and 4 during the August special election and also the October special election, which was held last week. We had to move those districts to Samuel R. Donald School for the elections. This led to Districts 2, 3, 4, and 5 having to vote at the Samuel R. Donald School. Postcard mailings were sent out to those voters affected, notifying them of this change for these elections. The day of the October 16, 2013 special election, we were notified mid-morning that there were problems accessing the Samuel R. Donald School due to the paving being done. We immediately contacted the police department and went to assess the situation and speak to the contractor. For the record, up until that time, we were not aware nor notified by the county that paving was going to be done that day. The police spoke with the contractor and were told that they would open one lane of traffic. Unfortunately, at some other point during the day, the contractor's equipment broke and the road was once again blocked. There was always access to the school by going through Reeve Ave, but we understand that some voters may have not been familiar with that We posted the information on the website as soon as we were aware and on Facebook. We were also in contact with the county elections office and informed them as to the steps we were taking the best we could. I would like to personally thank the police chief for all his efforts to try and make this as painless as we could for the voters. No voter was turned away from the polling site. In fact, we noted on our message that if they had any difficulty to please contact us immediately and we would help them. Had we been notified by the county that they would be paving that day, an assessment would have been made in an effort to delay the paving that day. We apologize for the inconvenience that this caused any voter, and I just want to confirm again that this was not the fault of the mayor and council or any council member as to having paving done that day, as rumors are circulating as such to that effect. It was a county project and scheduled by the county. Thank you.
Thank you for putting that on the record.
I'm over on the subject. The November general election is going to be back to
your
where
regular polling
the
sites.
normal. Thank you.
Okay, does anyone else have any to go?
I do.
No, yes.
The Environmental Commission met, and one of the items on their agenda, which is an agenda item here that's being carried, was the discussion on the oak tree in front of the building, and they have sent the council, I think they have gotten the email, I don't think it's in our packets, but I'd like to read the letter. It says, "Dear members, the Bloomingdale Environmental Commission has been informed that there is ongoing discussion to replace the oak tree in front of the municipal building. This was taken under discussion at the BEC's last meeting, and we feel this would be a disservice to the community if the tree was replaced or removed. The tree is older than the borough and is estimated to be 150 years old and lived through the Civil War and World War I and II. Oaks can live up to 300 years. It enhances the overall proportion of the building and affords shade, clean air, and visual beauty. Removing it would be costly, and replacing it with an evergreen would make growing grass near impossible due to the acidic nature of the needles. The residents of Bloomingdale who visit the municipal building and library have come to appreciate our oak tree in all of its majestic glory, from the pale green of new growth in the spring to the spectacular fall colors. The borough's logo preeminently displays a tree. While the tree on the logo does not represent the oak tree in question, we have subconsciously make an association between the municipal oak tree and the borough logo. We understand the borough's concern with cleaning up acorns, but the benefits and significance of the tree vastly outweigh the small amount of effort in removing acorns."
Okay, thanks for reading that into the record. Does anyone else have that? Okay. Moving along to our consent agenda. I need a motion to approve our consent agenda consisting of minutes from June 11th, September 10th, 24th, and October 8th. Also approval for the Bloomingdale Ladies Auxiliary, waiving the fee permit for an annual fundraiser, craft and bake sale on November.
You mentioned it, but I'm sure we officially approved that.
No, we did the coin toss. But I don't think it's November 3rd.
We didn't do this.
We didn't do
I
this.
think it's late November.
What?
The bake sale, craft.
No, it's November 3rd,
It is, okay.
Sunday.
All right, so that's in the consent, along with a copy of resolution from the city of Hamilton supporting a ballot question number 2, amending, which will be on ballot, obviously, a state constitution to increase our minimum wage. So that's our consent agenda. Who makes that motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Any discussion?
Good. Discussion?
Yeah. I know it's been a long road. We've spent a lot of time. I know I've spent time with Jane discussing the June 11th minutes that, we had a lot of problems with. But the minutes that I'm reading talk about 2013 6.1. It's on page 4A, which I don't have. I didn't have on the email, and I don't have in here.
But it should be in the,
And I also was looking at 5BAB also, those resolutions.
very confusing. It's probably an actual budget document, which I didn't have an email format, but I can show it to you right now.
I know this has been hanging for a long time, but
Well, there's a motion on the table. If you're
I
not
would
comfortable-
just as soon just state that I'm going to abstain from approving the June 11th
So
minutes.
you will vote yes for the consent agenda, abstaining from the June 11th minutes.
But I'd like to also discuss C. I read the resolution from Patterson, and by approving the consent agenda, are we just saying we got this resolution, or are we saying we approve it, or are we, what are we saying with this?
We're not issuing and signing a resolution, no, we're just identifying it as a secret document.
Like a correspondence?
Correct.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, so any further discussion? Again, all in favor? And please note that Councilwoman Shortman is voting for the consent agenda, abstaining from the June 11th minutes. Any business, adoption of resolution 2013-10. Actually, you know, there's no need to assign. We're going to table this. This is the award contract for the Walter T. Berg restrooms. There's still an attorney review, and further discussion needs to be had with our attorney on this particular one. Although, item B, adoption resolution number 2013-1020. Again, 2013-10.6. This is awarding the contract for the Rathke Road improvements. The award is being made, as you all copied your book, to Reggio Construction. The low bid, the dollar amount of $585,000. $281. $281.42. And for the record, this is substantially lower than our engineer's projections, which overall will be a great reduction in the assessment to the homeowners for the sidewalk piece. This also, we are only awarding the road reconstruction, sidewalk curbing, and driveway aprons. We are not at this time awarding any sewer or water lateral work. That is still under investigation by our engineer along with the governing body, on if the governing body is going to move forward with that additional work. So for now, we're awarding the base contract, not including the utility items we're still investigating. So,
Well, what about the sidewalks?
inclusive, right? We're awarding the
Sidewalk, I thought you said sidewalk
No, no.
aprons.
Sidewalks, curbs, driveway aprons, and road reconstruction. The original project is being awarded this evening, except for the utility laterals for sewer and water.
So,
We may revisit them. So the motion is from Councilman Yasi. Is there a second?
second.
Is there any further discussion?
Yes.
What was the bid process?
Excuse me, the bid process. That was dealt with by our attorney. There was no flaw in the accepted bid. I'm sorry, Councilman Solomon?
The total you read out, it doesn't match what's on the spreadsheet.
I was reading from, hold on.
He was listening to me.
I was listening.
That's a letter from Haskell Paving.
They have the bids there, the bids as follows.
Hold on.
Ridgeway Construction, 585, 281.
On the spreadsheet, it's 290, actually a little more.
293.30.
293.30 on the spreadsheet.
Okay, a minor amendment. Councilman Yasi, you entered your motion awarding the contract to Reggio of $585,293.30.
So moved.
Okay, second by Councilman Del Rippe. Any further discussion?
Yes, how do we reference the letter of protest?
Again, I was asked by Councilman Conklin, the letter of protest was dealt with by our attorney, responded to the attorney of the applicant protesting, and the determination that there was no fatal flaw in the awarded low bid. So we're fine with this award. That has been done.
That's our legal.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Conklin.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Del Rippe.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Yasi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 12A, adoption of resolution 2013-10.7, payment of the bills. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion?
I have discussion on the bills.
Sure.
I have a long list of questions that I have emailed to the treasurer, and I don't have answers on some of my questions. I will be abstaining from the vote.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmembers D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Short.
Abstain.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Conklin.
Yes.
12B, adoption resolution 1310.8. This is a resolution supporting modification to the Quantic River permit number WAP 09001. We received a request from the Environmental Commission to support a resolution supporting the efforts of our Quantic River Coalition, which we are members of, asking that the Quantic River waterway require water release from the Charlottesburg Reservoir to be modified to lower summer river temperatures, and again, not affecting any water loss in the city of Newark. And I'd ask you to support the resolution that our BEC has asked us to do. So who makes that motion?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmembers Delariva.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Conklin.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Next item. Adoption resolution 2013-10.9. This is renewing our membership in the North Jersey Municipal Employee Benefit Fund. As you remember, we, August 1st, changed our health insurance from the state health plan to the Jersey Health Fund, locking in our rate all of calendar year 14, but we January 1 need a renewal date. They require an agreement to confirm our membership in this resolution. So who makes that motion?
So moved.
Seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Short.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Conklin.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Next item, adoption resolution 2013-10.10. This resolution is to amend chapter 159 of our budget for drive sober and get pulled over grant we received in the amount of $4,400. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sandemeyer.
Yep.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Conklin.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
Item E, discussion regards to shared service with Quantic for animal control services. There's no action to be taken this evening. I'm just bringing this to your attention. I'm hoping to have it on the next agenda for action. We currently cover emergency coverage for Quantic, and they're looking to have us provide full Monday coverage. And so I offered a term. The prior agreement was just based on prevailing wage per our contract. But what I've done is presented a minimum call. Because if it's, if one of our part-time ACOs is making $14 an hour, and they were to go for 45 minutes, I'm billing them $11, So we're doing a $90 minimum call-out, 3-hour minimum, and then prevailing wage after that. And this is just for Mondays. And it's in front of the Quantic governing body. The Quantic Board of Health feels moved because they need the coverage and will be willing to supply that coverage. But it's here for information, and I'm hoping to adopt. I don't want to adopt until we get their approval back. Okay, here we are on that. Next item is authorization for hiring of Ron Thomas as part-time police dispatcher. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? I'll just state for the record, there's no increased cost at all to the borough. This is just adding a part-time additional person to fill in when the need arises. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Yazdi.
Yes.
Conklin.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item is a request for replacement of streetlight at 14B Old Bridge Road. There's going to be no action on this tonight either. I had this on the agenda. After speaking with the resident who is requesting a streetlight be put at the end of Old Bridge Road, the streetlight's installed by Butler Electric. It's a $34 annual expense to the borough. What I asked the resident to do was give me a petition, in a sense, signed by all the neighbors. I want to make sure everyone's on board. He wants it, for example, they're just not even comfortable taking out the garbage. It's so dark because of their potential. So He stopped in today, was unable to get the letter, confident all the residents will sign it, and then I'll bring it back to the residents' box.
Existing light,
No, there's not a light there now.
nothing there at all.
Nothing
So
there
they're
at
going to add a,
all. The residents are requesting it, but I want it for more than just the one homeowner. All those will be affected by our
This
final
is
homeowner.
only $34.
it is,
Even they'll install the pole and the light and everything.
also there,
Oh,
with
it's
the light
there.
they tap off.
Now, the reason I know that already in advance is because I had a request for one on Glenwell, on Mackinnon. And the county is doing a study based on curves in the darkness, whether they'll let us proceed on that. So that may come back to you sooner than later. But for now, this will be on the next agenda, so Jane and I most likely will carry. Item H, adoption resolution 2013-10.11.
Just not to interrupt, but do we really need to bring that back? If we're all in favor of it, and you get all petitions, you want to just,
Well, because it has to do, I technically know what I would just do, just to,
something get them.
well, it's going to take about more time to install by the time we have our next meeting. So, again, adoption resolution 2013-10.11, renewal of liquor license 1601-33-008-011 NLS Management LLC. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Where is that
Do I have, give me a second first, please?
Second.
Discussion, where is that license?
Right now it's inactive, but it will be down by Mama Mia's. Remember the gentleman that came in and
Sorry, Wes.
he wanted to license 3 buildings?
Fred So's?
Yes.
And we had to wait for the state to
Yes.
approve it. Well, now he's got his approval to renew, but since that time, he's going to come back next month and he's going to license 2 buildings, so he has to go through the process to de-license that 3rd building. He will be back next month.
So this isn't for the Thai restaurant?
No.
Now,
No. Okay. It's for
it's
his,
just to renew the
T-shirt?
inactive license.
oh, okay.
The Thai restaurant actually, that restaurant has the license. I mean, that Mama Mia or...
It's a little different kind of license though.
Sorry? No.
Mama Mia's?
There's Mama Mia's for Abby's. But it's inactive. But Tom could, the old family
They'd have to transfer.
could transfer that. So, if that's where they're going. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmembers Conklin.
Yes.
Demotta.
Yes.
Del Rippe.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Biassisti.
Yes.
Okay, and just for the record, 722, our attorney, Fred Samron joined us, and I was remiss in introducing, put him on the spot, new associate Joe Bach, who's sitting in the audience with the Dorsey Samron firm, so welcome both of you. I offered to come up, we didn't want to scare
My
off.
apologies, Mayor, in personal matter. I wanted to be reset.
No, we're good, thank you. Next item, adoption resolution 2013-10.12, redeeming tax title lien 120032. Again, as you recall, this is simply tax title redemption of prior tax lien, they're redeeming that. And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Demotta.
Yes.
Del Rippe.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Biassisti.
Yes.
Conklin.
Yes. Okay, the next item is actually introduction. The agenda was printed before we realized that, correct?
Well, I guess the attorneys.
Mr. Attorney, the Save the Tree ordinance, we need to reintroduce, correct?
I think it would be best to either reintroduce or we could table the public hearing to the next one.
Oh, let's do that. Okay, so we introduced an ordinance
It was 33-2013.
33, 2013, simply putting ordinance to protect the oak tree in front of Borough Hall, Councilwoman Shortman's request, stating that there has to be an arborist determination if the tree was ever to be removed, that it was unhealthy or unsafe, etc. But it wasn't advertised timely, okay? So we will need a motion to table the public hearing until November 12th at 7:30 p.m. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to just read what we had come up with, even though we didn't actually get to follow through on it. It was added that the oak tree situated in front of Borough Hall may be removed only upon a determination by an arborist that the tree is diseased or unsafe, an affirmative vote by a majority of the Borough Council that the tree should be removed, except in cases of emergency where public safety necessitates the removal of the oak tree. And since it's part of the shade tree ordinance, I guess my question that I had emailed to you was, this puts this tree in a different category than the rest of the trees that can be taken down that are within 40 feet of a building, et cetera.
Yes,
Okay.
specifically identified
Okay.
for your request, yes.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to open to late public comment. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. That was on the discussion point?
Yes.
For the motion to table until the 12th. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. There was one non-agenda item which I pretty much covered when I spoke about it. Please go look at the sidewalk I referenced. I will bring back to you with the certification of funds to make a repair on Lowell that past the Burbage Company.
That needs to be done.
It does need to be done.
Can you tell me what that's going to be, how that's going to be paid, from what account? What account?
The capital fund ordinance that we introduced in 2011.
Mayor, it's not
So I got to get a certification before we move on.
a dangerous situation.
No, I mean, it's been there a while, but it was brought to my attention, and I was shocked when I witnessed it, and I spent the last 4 weeks dealing with the county, and the answer was, we don't do sidewalks. So I get some help with the paving and crime and whatnot, and the county's been good to us, but they don't do sidewalks. So it's the first, not house, it's immediately after the Bergen School on the left. You'll see behind a guide rail and a macadam walkway that literally falls off into a ravine. We will put a new concrete sidewalk and a fence along. How many feet are we talking? 60, 70 feet. The estimate I received was $7,500. Actually, it was $6,500. I'll ask for not to exceed $7,500. Okay. I need a motion to open late public comment. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
And anyone wishing to speak, please come on up. State your name and address for the record. Easy crowd. See no one, motion to close. Come on, read it. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will be entering into a late executive session. We have one matter of negotiation and one matter of potential litigation. Action may be taken, unlikely though, after our executive session. Governing body schedule, general election November 5th, polls open 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Veterans Day service November 11th, 11 a.m. at Sloan Park. And our regular meeting November 12th at 7 p.m. Motion to enter executive. So moved by Della Ripa, second. Second. 5 minute recess. All in favor? Okay, we'll resume an open session at 7:57. There's one matter to address. I need a motion to award the Walter T. Bergen restroom construction to MBT Contracting Corp. at a cost of $107,000. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Resolution, 10.13, and it's made by Yazdi, second.
Second.
Any further discussion?
No, that $100,000.
Still over the bid fish.
That's what we did.
We have a $100,000 grant.
We have a $100,000 grant, we would take $7,000 gross. Not bid threshold. Anything over $32,000.
Oh, I understand how
We
we had that $100,000 mark in our, and now we're over.
Where are we? County fund and the roads tab. We did on Bergen, we're going to Leisure. John?
What's the budget on
The grant application was for 125. We had a local contribution of 25 and the grant was 100. We're going to put in 7.
What's the local contribution?
25,000. You have to show local contribution to the county. So even on Delation, we got 125, we put in 175, 50 local, 125 county. And many times, like Oakwood Lake, we didn't have to put in a contribution, we had enough in the county. Here, 7,000. Okay, so again, we're still in discussion on that side.
Yep.
Just further.
My question, if it goes, if the direction that we talked about that goes legally.
Yes.
So that's going to run into additional money.
If we have to pursue this issue, because publicly there was a withdrawal request, and we have to pursue that, it could. But we'd make a decision. I'd ask you to make a decision what you want to do.
So really, right now, we're approving this, but
We're awarding the contract.
bail out. If we go to that point.
Well, you can pursue it. It would be your option if you want to pursue it and hold this particular bidder to the contract if for some reason they do not want to proceed and the bid bond does not want to come forward and address this. It would come back to you for a decision.
Then, because of the circumstances, who will notify him or the support?
I think myself and do Jane, who's no contract. Very good.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Seligman.
Yes.
Short. Yes. Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Conklin. Tomato.
Yes.
Okay, any other business from everybody? Hearing none, motion to adjourn. All in favor?